Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Tim. Second Legacy is the place, and thank you for stopping by. This, of course, is the place where we take the happenings of the two-way world. We add a little bit of humor, sarcasm, and send it back out for consumption. And today will be no different. We have got to talk about Tim's favorite person on the planet, VP Kamala Harris, because she got fact-checked by the leftist media. I'm here for it, and it's around gun control. This is going to be delicious. And please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And Tim, your favorite Kamala Harris, she's back. She made another appearance in the fact checks. We got to talk about it.
They fact check her with a Venn diagram, or she just got regular fact checked?
No,
Oh.
just normal regular. This is definitely regular.
Okay.
Venn diagram is a special kind of fact check where there's a little bit of truth over here and a little bit of lie over here, and somewhere where it overlaps, that's kind of where she lives. Yeah, but not this one. This one's actually just manipulation. I'm shocked, personally.
Yeah, no, I expect pure honesty from this White House and administration.
Exactly.
They're such straight shooters, very articulate, and very sure-footed, as things would go. Yeah,
exactly. Sure-footed, indeed. Don't they describe donkeys as sure-footed?
Yes.
Probably unrelated.
Nice
anyway,
connection there. That's yes.
Do you like that? You like that?
Yeah.
I wasn't implying jackasses. I was just saying Democrats.
Who are jackasses?
Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
All right. Or jackasses. Whatever. It's cool. So, Tim, here's what she said. This is a bit of an issue because it's a lie. 75% of school shootings resulted from gun that wasn't secured. Fact check.
I can fact check that one. There's a pretty good chance if a gun is being used in a crime, it's probably not secured. So I'm going to go with...
because safe certain.
I'm going to go with 100%. But anyway, go ahead.
Safe storage. Safe storage, man. I mean, Ethan's Law. If we could save just one life.
And it wouldn't even have saved Ethan because he literally unlocked the locked gun. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, facts. But that's neither here nor there because it's about the feels. All right?
Yes.
So here's the quote in question, Tim. Here it is, where she got her hand caught in the cookie jar a little bit, just like she kind of got her hand caught in the cookie jar and got fact-checked when she said that, the leading cause of death for children was guns when it wasn't. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Here's the quote. Quote, put it in a lockbox. Because especially if a young person is just curious or, wants to play with a gun, let's not make it too easy to get, Harris said. And that's what secure storage is about. The number I've seen suggests that as many as 75% of school shootings resulted from a gun that was not secured. Well, let's see. Then the fact check has to get involved. And this is where it gets really interesting because, Tim, how often do gun controllers get fact-checked by the media, of all people, about lies?
Very rarely. Very rarely. Because they're usually the one, propagating those lies. So you have to do a very special kind of stupid to get them to turn on you, I think.
Exactly. That's my point. Because and I said this in my video when I was talking about this, if you're a Democrat and you're putting out gun control propaganda points and the media fact checks you, just look around for asteroids because they might be on the way to Earth.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, the world might be ending because they don't get fact checked a lot. Well, they did on this one, though, because this is number 4. We took a closer look at the statistics and found the study Harris cites concluded that some school shooters acquired firearms that were considered unsecured or easily accessible in family homes, but not 75%. And this is not the first time that this figure has been cited. I love they threw that in there. She's done it before, too.
Yeah. No, she does it all the time. It's kind of like Giffords and Everytown and Bloomberg and all those guys. They just go out there and just make up numbers and then just repeat them over and over again.
Absolutely.
Because, there was a propagandist from history that said if you tell a lie, a big lie, enough times, people will just start to believe it. And that's kind of the basis for their entire movement, I believe, at this point.
Yeah, I think we call it gaslighting.
Yes, gaslighting's one.
Day.
I just call it propaganda because it's
it is.
It's false and it's meant to elicit an emotional response and to get you to voluntarily surrender your rights. And they just keep it up and up and up. So that's what they do.
Yeah, just keep repeating it.
Yeah.
Eventually, everyone will believe it.
Yeah,
that's the way it works, right? Yeah, no, it's not the way that works. Well, it turns out, again, when you lose gun controlling apparatus because you went too far on your lie, it's not a good look. Check this one out, Tim. This is number 5. You get to the 75 or 76% number by adding the firearms from homes where guns had been locked up, said Daniel Webster, a distinguished research scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions, which, by the way, is funded by Bloomberg. Just want to throw that out
so
there.
You have a Bloomberg guy shooting down her numbers.
well,
He's
no, it's not.
Yeah. And this one must be so easily disproven that they felt obligated to come out with this statement, because it's like, this is a bad one. Look, we can't cover for this one, folks. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was only off a little bit. I mean, it was only off by like 25 or 30% from the real number. But you know what I love about this, Tim? And this brings the warm figure to my heart right here. In order to propagate the idea that you need safe storage laws, you inflate the numbers of what you're referencing. And the only way you can inflate those numbers to make your point work is to reference guns that were safely secured and include them in the total of unsecured guns. So you're just literally making stuff up left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and then saying it as fact from the podium of the VP.
Yes. That's what they do. This is what they do. And this isn't the first time. There's entire organizations built around disinformation. You know,
like name some.
Oh, that online shooting database, that K-12 guy, whatever his name is. We talk about him here periodically.
Davey.
The guy
Davey.
Davey, you know, where he goes out there and he says, you know, if you filter my data, you get different results. So if you filter it this way, you get 2,032 school shootings. But if you filter it this way, you get 8. So
it's quite the spread.
It's all about the filter, right? So this is what they do. These are propagandists that, depending on how you filter their data, like, we'll just include suicides with actual violence. Just a filtering thing, folks. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Well, thanks for clarifying that, because it does make sense now what you're referencing. Yes. I do appreciate that. And, you know, this... When you talk about everything that we talk about, of course, we're doing this tongue-in-cheek, because anytime there's a Democrat gun controller fact check, it's always a great day. Yeah. I mean, like,
and the only way you can make the commentary about their commentary is tongue-in-cheek, because they're idiots.
100%. Yeah. It's so stupid. I mean, it's kind of like when you walk out, you open the door and the sun's shining, and you're like, oh, it's going to be a good day. It's kind of like that on the internet. But, you know, they lie a lot, man. like you've got what your example right there, K through 12, when they go on this tirade of complete gun control propaganda, and then they openly say on the same platform that if the spread's between 8 or 2,000, depending on how you classify actual shootings. But they do the same thing in everything else as well. They do it with suicide and murders. They lump those together as gun violence. The entire thing is all about repackaging existing data and then obfuscating all the details so it looks worse. Right. I mean, the entire thing is manipulation.
Yes,
and that's the worst part.
Not just the statistics, but they pick and choose events as well. And so they'll disregard this one because it doesn't push their narrative, but this one will get airtime for the next 30 days. And so they make up statistics, they cherry pick events, and then they all chew it up and spit it out as propaganda that there are just far too many people out there willing to lap it up and believe it. And you know, when you get misinformation from a major news source, say CNN, MSDNC, or somebody runs a story and it spews misinformation, well, because it's coming through the television set, people are inclined to believe it. Oh, there's a study. And some big name I somewhat recognize, but really don't, but they got a lot of money. I know that. It's got to be a good study. You know,
right. It can't be bad.
Right. And so people just want to believe this nonsense. And especially if you have an agenda. So.
Oh, absolutely.
But here we have two people with an agenda conflicting.
You're right. Well, but that's the best part about this.
Yeah, because one person's agenda and their lies are screwing up the other person's agenda and their plans.
That's exactly right. I mean, you can look at anything, guys. Like And Tim just brought up a really great point. And one of the things that we get to do on social media platforms with this channel where we're working together, my own channel, your own channel, the things that we get to do is we get to bring light and expose things that the media doesn't want. It's making such a huge impact. Like for what you just said, for example, picking and choosing which issues to cover. A good example of that's what we covered last week with the battle on the street in Memphis, Tennessee, that still has had no coverage.
Yeah.
Qualified as a mass shooting, but over hundreds of rounds were fired. I mean, ARs bouncing up in the ground, up in the air like this with music. I mean, like that's like a gun controller's wet dream, but they didn't choose it.
Right.
Obviously, there's many, many reasons they didn't, but that's the point. They're picking and choosing what they want to say to craft a narrative to impress upon you a bigger deal or a different deal than really exists.
They're trying to not just ban guns, but also push a social agenda through their cherry picking of events and statistics. And so keep in mind, these gun grabbers have more than one agenda, folks. So when they're picking and choosing stuff to share with you, that's social engineering on their part, because they have a narrative they're trying to push. And that narrative is intended to disarm you or to get you to voluntarily disarm yourselves. So it's always interesting when these clowns out themselves, and when one clown group chastises and corrects the other clown group, it gets even better. So
it's so sweet.
Yeah, what a great day. I want to thank both parties, Kamala for her Venn diagrams and stupidity, and then the other goons, the gun grabbing Bloomberg clowns. Hey, have a great. Just keep fighting. We're going into election season. Just this public infighting is awesome. Please keep doing it. Thank you for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
I love Venn diagrams. Okay.